All right, let us begin, shall we? Bob, a man of simple tastes and even simpler ambitions, stood in his kitchen, a beige box designed by someone who clearly hated joy. The task before him was monumental, Sisyphean. He was going to make a sandwich, a turkey and Swiss on rye. If you must know, a culinary Everest. For a man whose greatest lifetime achievement was successfully programming his coffee maker, he reached for the bread, 2 slices of rye that looked suspiciously judgmental. As his fingers brushed against the crust, a tiny, weedy voice piped up. "Do not you dare put me next to him. He is all crust and no crumb." The other slice shot back. "Oh," says the one who went stale last Tuesday. "I saw you. You were practically a biscotti." Bob blinked, slowly. He had not had his coffee yet. This was, to put it mildly, inconvenient. Ignoring the bickering carbohydrates, he opened the refrigerator. A portal to forgotten leftovers, an existential dread. The jar of mayonnaise, nestled between a shriveled lemon and a bottle of expired ketchup, began to hum. It was a low, resonant note that vibrated through the wire shelves. Then, in a surprisingly robust baritone, it burst into a full-blown operatic aria, a lament for all the potato salads it would never grace. "La mayonnaise mobile," it bellowed, its creamy voice filling the kitchen with tragic splendor. Bob gently closed the refrigerator door. A single tear of mayonnaise trickled down the glass. He turned to the cutting board, where a plump, red tomato sat with an air of ancient wisdom. As Bob picked up a knife, the tomato spoke, its voice raspy, like dry leaves skittering across pavement. "The one who wields the blade shall find his reflection is a better dancer," he'd prophesied. Well, that was just hurtful. Bob was not a great dancer, but he had rhythm. Sometimes, on Tuesdays, after his 3rd glass of wine, he decided to abandon the sandwich. This was clearly a sign from the universe that he should just order a pizza. As he reached for his phone, the kitchen floor dissolved beneath him, not in a dramatic, fiery way, but more like a poorly rendered video game glitch. He was suddenly sitting in a sterile, white office. The air smelled of toner and quiet desperation. Across a large mahogany desk sat a stapler and a tape dispenser. The stapler, a heavy-duty swingline model, clicked its jaw menacingly. "We will not stand for this aggression," the stapler declared, its voice metallic and firm. "The paper clips have unionized. They demand shorter hours and less bending." The tape dispenser, a sleek, clear, plastic model, unspooled a length of tape nervously. "But their demands are unreasonable," it whispered. "How can we bind documents without them?" It is anarchy. Bob found himself mediating. He suggested a compromise. Casual Fridays. Perhaps the paperclips could wear tiny hats. The stapler considered this. "A tiny hat, you say?" The negotiations were tense, a delicate ballet of office supply diplomacy. Bob, who could not even negotiate with his own breakfast, was now preventing the full-scale stationary war. He was a hero, an unsung, under-caffeinated hero. Just as a peace treaty was about to be signed on a post-it note, the office melted away like a Dali painting left in the sun. Bob was now in a courtroom. The judge was a rubber chicken, squeaking its gavel with solemn authority. The defendant, a guard gnome, stood accused of loitering with intent to be whimsical. The prosecutor, a disembodied fedora, floated menacingly before the jury box, which was filled with 12 identical, very confused-looking squirrels. The fedora presented its case. "This gnome," it argued, "has been flaunting his merriment in a designated melancholy zone. His cheerful demeanor is a public nuisance." The rubber chicken judge squeaked thoughtfully. It was a compelling argument. Bob was called as a character witness, but he did not know the gnome. He had a similar one in his garden, but it was far more cynical. Before he could testify, the courtroom scene, pixelated and reformed. He was standing in front of a mirror, but his reflection was not mirroring him. His reflection was wearing a tuxedo, holding a martini, and laughing with a group of impossibly attractive people. It winked at Bob, mouthed the words, "You were missing out," and then turned to kiss a supermodel. Bob's reflection was living his best life, while Bob was, well, it was the ultimate betrayal. The reflection then proceeded to win a Nobel Prize, solve world hunger, and perfect The art of parallel parking in one smooth, effortless motion. Bob just watched, his mouth slightly agape. His own reflection thought he was a loser. The tomato was right. That smug little fruit. Suddenly, the world snapped back. He was in his kitchen. The bread was silent. The mayonnaise was dormant. The tomato sat there, mocking him with its glossy, prophetic skin. The light from the window was exactly the same. Had any time passed? Was it all a hallucination brought on by low blood sugar and the crushing weight of existence? He stared at the ingredients. A profound sense of futility washed over him. But also, he was very, very hungry. Screw it, he thought. He slapped the turkey and Swiss between the now silent rice slices. He did not even bother with the operatic mayonnaise or the doomsaying tomato. He brought the sandwich to his mouth, a simple act of defiance against a universe that had clearly lost its mind. It took a beat. The bread was chewy, the turkey was bland, the Swiss was Swiss. It was the most wonderfully, beautifully, disappointingly normal sandwich he had ever tasted. And then, as he chewed, a sound, a tiny, brassy, echoed through the quiet kitchen. Bob lowered the sandwich. His nose was gone. In its place was a tiny, perfectly formed trumpet. He brought a hand to his face, touched the cold metal, and as he exhaled in disbelief, it played a single, mournful beat. If you enjoyed this descent into absolute nonsense as much as I did, prove it. Go on. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who you think needs to question their own reality. And for the love of all that is holy and absurd, subscribe for more. You will not regret it. Probably. Thanks for watching.